Welcome back, second graders. So today we're going to be working on Eureka Module 4, Lesson 12. So let's go ahead and see what that means. We're going to relate manipulative representations to a written method. Now, we've been doing subtraction, but just with like place value chips. Today, we're going to put it in writing, and I'm really excited to show you today's strategy because it's one where it kind of puts all of the pieces together that we've been working on. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, remember when you have a 10, it breaks down into 10 littles, or 10 littles equal 1 big. They work both ways. The difference is the answer to a subtraction problem, and when we decompose, we break apart a number. So we're going to be unbundling or decomposing tens. So let's go ahead and just open up with a problem to kind of get our brain going. So we have Barb. Barb has a bag of 34 cherries. She eats 17 cherries for a snack. How many cherries does she have left? Well, I'm going to start with 34, and we're going to go ahead and represent that number. I have 3 tens and 4 ones. So now what we have to do is we have to take away 17. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my problem vertically, and I can see that I have 4 ones and I have to take away a 7. So that means that I have to unbundle a 10. Now, just so that way you remember, let me show you what our tens can do. When I'm with my students, I always tell them that when we have a 10, we unlock the magic. And look at what this 10 can do. I can break a 10 apart into 10 ones. And I can also do the opposite, where if I need to make a 10, make 10 littles into 1 big, I can do that. But it also goes the other way. I can also make a big into 10 littles. And don't forget that. This is one of the main things that you've got to remember for subtraction. So let's go ahead and go back to our slideshow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take that 10 and we're going to make it into 10 ones. So let's go ahead and bring that 10 over, and there we go. We have our 10 littles. So now we can take away 7. So if I'm going to take away 7, here they go. And I am left with, now remember this top group right here is not a group of 5. Remember, I only had 34. So this isn't a 5, so it's 4 and 3. So that is 7 ones. And then I have to take away 1 10, so I'm left with 1 10. So we've been doing this for one lesson, and I can see where this can get a little confusing because we don't always have place value chips with us all the time. So let's go ahead and see how you would just write this out on a piece of paper. We're going to be doing it with place value chips and the written form, and then pretty soon we're going to go down to a written form. So let's go ahead and look at 25, take away 11. Now there's 20 and there's 5. Now I'm going to write it in vertical form. 25, take away 11. And before we even get started, let's take a look at that top number right there. I'm going to get my magnifying glass, and I want to really look at that number 25. And the reason why we're really going to focus on that top number is because that top number, when we compare it to the number below, it's going to tell us whether we are going to have to unbundle a 10. So let's look at that 25 there. And when I look at that 25 and I have a 1 below, I know I don't have to unbundle anything because I can take 1 away from 5. When I look at the 1 below the 2, I don't have to unbundle anything. So this is just one of those problems where I just subtract. So 5 ones take away 1. Let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. And that leaves me with 4 ones. So if I put my answer right there, I'm done. Now let's look at our tens. I have 2 tens, take away 1 10. So let's go ahead and take away that 10, and I'm left with 1 10. So let's go ahead and check out another problem where it's not that easy. So I have 22 take away 13. And when I have 22 take away 13, I'm going to go ahead and take it from a horizontal problem to a vertical problem. So let's go ahead and look at 22 take away 13. Now, the first thing we're going to do is make 2 10s and 2 1s. Now I'm going to get my magnifying glass because I really want to focus on that number 22. Okay, let's look at it real closely. And I have 22, and I'm going to look at my 2 in my ones place and look at the number below it. Is the number below it greater or less than? Well, a 3 is greater than a 2. So what that means is when I'm working on this problem, I am going to have to unbundle a 10, but that's okay. I can show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and unbundle a 10. So I'm going to bring my 10 over and it becomes 10 ones. So now that I have my 10 ones, I want you to think about, what do you see here? What do you see? What I see is I have 1 10 left over and I have 12 ones, but that's not what my problem says. So let's go ahead and show that in written form. So I'm going to cross off that 2 because I no longer have 2 10s. How many 10s do I have? I have 1 10 left. So there it is. Now, do I have 2 ones here? I don't have 2 ones, so I'm going to cross that off too, and I'm going to write the number of ones that I have. Now, I don't have 2 ones. I have 12 ones because I added 10. So 2 and 10 is 12. So now I'm ready to subtract. This is what I see, so that's what I have now. So let's go ahead and look at my ones. Now I'm ready to subtract. So I have 12 ones and I'm going to take away 3. So let's go ahead and take away 3. And there they go. So what do I have left? I have 9 ones left. Okay, so now let's look at my tens place. So I'm going to focus on that because I finished my ones and now I have 1 10, take away 1 10. So I have 1 10 left because remember, this is the number that I actually see in my chart. And let's take away that 1. And there it goes. So what do I have left? I don't have any 10s left. So remember, you can write a 0 there, but if you just want to leave it off, you can do that too and just make your answer 9. Okay, let's try another problem. Okay, I have 34, take away 18. First thing is it goes from horizontal to vertical. So there is my 34, take away 18. Let's make our 3 10s and 4 1s. Remember when we subtract, we just make one number. We don't have to make 2 numbers. So now let's focus on that 34. I have my magnifying glass and I'm really looking at those numbers. So when I'm looking at 34, take away 8, I'm looking at my numbers in my ones. I have a 4 on the top and I have an 8 on the bottom. So is 8 greater than 4? It is. So I'm going to have to unbundle a 10. So let's go ahead and start unbundling my 10. And now I'm left with 10 ones. Now that I've unbundled a 10, to show this in written form, I need to show what I see. So how many 10s do I have left? Do I have 3 10s still? I do not have 3 10s. So how many 10s do I have left? I have 2 10s left. So let's go ahead and represent that with a 2. And how many ones do I have? Do I have 4 ones? I do not have 4 ones because I unbundled a 10 and now I have 4 plus 10 ones. So that is 14 ones. So now I have 2 10s and 14 ones, take away 18. And this is what I see. Don't let this overwhelm you. It's not 214. Let's just take it one step at a time and let's look at how they line up. So the first thing I'm going to do is 14 take away 8. So let's go ahead and take away 8. And I am left with 6 ones, just like that. Now the next thing that I do is I focus on my 10s. So now I have 2 10s and I'm going to take away a 1. So that leaves me with 1 10. So my answer is 16. Now this is a lot like the math that we did yesterday, except the math yesterday didn't really show you the written form. I like this because it can show you how to still do the math even if you don't have your place value mat or your place value chips. So let's go ahead and try another problem now. and we're not going to be using that mat. Now, if you're comfortable with your place value mat at home, please use your place value mat with your place value chips. We can use the same strategy, but just with written form. So let me show you what that would look like. So I have 71, take away 27. I don't have my place value mat, I don't have my place value chips, but I have my number in vertical form. Now the steps stay the same. I'm going to look at that top number, and I'm really going to focus on it because I want to see, am I going to have to unbundle a 10? So the number on top is a 1, and the number below is a 7. Am I going to have to unbundle? Absolutely, because I can't take 7 ones from 1. So let's go ahead and let me show you what that looks like in written form. So I no longer have 7 tens because remember in our pictures, remember how the 10 slides over to the ones? So I only have 6 tens left. Now that means that instead of 1 in the ones place, I have 1 plus 10, which is 11. So let's go ahead and focus on our ones now. So now I have 11 take away 7. So what is 11 take away 7? Now this is where you can use cubes or you can use any tools you have to figure out what 11 take away 7 is. So that answer is 4 ones. So 11 ones take away 7 ones equals 4 ones. And usually when we get to the tens, it's a little easier. So I have 6 tens take away 2 tens, and that equals 4 tens. And there we have our answer. It's 44, and we did that without place value chips, and we were still able to unbundle a 10. Okay, let's look at another problem. I have 53 take away 29. So our first step is, that's right, let's write it vertically. So get your paper and pencil, whiteboard, write this problem vertically. Go ahead and pause the video and do that now. Okay, so this is the problem written vertically. Now we've got to analyze and look at that first number, 53. So I have 53. You can see I have 3 ones on the top and I have 9 ones on the bottom. The number on the bottom is greater. So am I going to have to unbundle a 10? Yes, I am going to have to unbundle a 10. So let's go ahead and unbundle that 5. Remember, if I unbundle, that means I no longer have 5 tens. That means that I have 4 tens in the tens place. Now that I unbundled that 10, I have 10 more ones. So 3 and 10 is 13. So now let's focus on our ones. What is 13 take away 9? This is where you can use your cubes, you can use your own strategies to solve that number, 13 take away 9. Okay, 13 take away 9 is equal to 4. So now let's focus on the tens. What's 4 take away 2? 4 take away 2 is equal to 2. So our answer is 24. And that's it for today. I know that that was a lot. We're going to continue this lesson tomorrow, but I do want you to practice some of your seesaw assignments on your own. So let's go ahead and take a look at what your seesaw assignment is today. Okay, so for your seesaw assignment today, I have 2 problems on one page. I have 61 take away 37 and 48 take away 25. Now remember, get your pretend magnifying glass and you're going to really look at that number. You're going to have to decide if you have to unbundle a 10. Spoiler alert, you will have to unbundle a 10 in this number. So make sure that you guys are unbundling and show me your work here and then tell me your answer at the end. If you solve this on a piece of paper, just take a picture of your piece of paper so that way I can see it. 48 take away 25. Look at that top number. Are you going to have to unbundle it? Spoiler alert, you won't have to unbundle this one. So you just subtract straight down. And then I have 2 more problems. I'm not going to help you with those. I want to see how you do on your own. And that's it. So those 4 problems all by yourself. And then when you get finished, make sure you give yourself some confetti because this is not easy. This is one of the main things that you learn in 2nd grade, and we want to make sure that you nail this down. So join me tomorrow for day 2 of this lesson. And that's it. Bye.